Today we're going to talk about something called a loop inside PHP, and a loop is very similar to what we talked about in the previous episode where you learned about something called a conditional statement. In that last episode we talked about an if statement where as long as we had a certain condition inside the parentheses of an if statement being true, then we would run a block of code. Whereas when it comes to a loop, we do the exact same thing, but the difference is that as long as the condition is true, it will keep running the code again and again and again. And that's why it's so important we don't create something called an infinite loop. Now, the idea behind an infinite loop is that we have a loop that never has been told to stop. This means that if we have a certain condition that has to be true for the loop to keep running, it also has to become false at some point. And an infinite loop is not something you should be scared of, but it's just something that you need to keep an eye out for so we don't actually have it happen inside our code. So when it comes to talking about these loops, we have 4 different types. We have a while loop, a do while loop, a for loop, and a for each loop. Now the last loop that I mentioned called the for each loop is something that we haven't really talked about yet because it does require that you know about something called an array inside PHP, and we haven't talked about arrays yet, but it is something we will talk about in the future, so I will still teach about the for each loop in this episode. Just make sure that you return to this episode once you learned about arrays in a future episode. So as you can see behind me here, I do actually have an example of a while loop, and as you will notice, it's actually very similar to an if statement. We have the keyword, which in this case is not going to be if, but instead while. And then we have a pair of parentheses followed with a pair of curly brackets that has a block of code inside of it. And the basic idea here is that inside the parentheses we're going to have a condition, just like with the if statement. Then as long as that condition is true, we're going to keep looping through this loop again and again and again. So in this example here, you can actually see that I have a variable called 1 that is right on top of the loop. And then inside the loop's condition, I check whether or not a is lesser than or equal to 10. So what I do here is I loop through this loop until a is greater than 10. And then it will actually stop, because then the condition is going to be false. And one way we can do this is using incrementers, which we talked about in the previous episode. So if you don't quite remember what incrementers are, I will leave a link for that specific episode. But the basic idea behind an incrementer is we take a variable that has a number, like a, that is 1 right now, and we can simply increase it by 1 by adding plus plus behind it. So first we echo out the number, and then we add 1 to it. If we've added the plus symbols in front of it, then we would add 1 and then echo it out inside the browser. So right here, we echo the number first, and then we increase by 1. Then after we echo out the number, the loop is going to return back to the start, and then do it one more time. And each time we loop, a is going to increase by 1, meaning the first time, once it's done, it's going to be equal to 2. Then it's going to be 3, 4, 5, until we get to 10, and then it's not going to run anymore because now a is greater than 10. And you might be asking, well, when exactly do we use a loop like this? Well, some examples could be if we were to get some data from a database where we get a associative array that we're going to store inside a variable, then we can actually take the data inside the array. Again, I'm talking about arrays like you already know what it is. Just know that we're getting a lot of different data from somewhere, and we want to spit out the data one by one inside the browser by looping through each row of data, and we can do that using a while loop. Now in this next example here, we're going to talk about a do while loop, and the main difference between a while and a do while loop is the fact that inside the while loop, if the condition from the start was false, then we would never run the block of code, not even a single time. Whereas when it comes to a do while loop, we're always going to run this block of code at least one time, and then we're going to check whether or not the condition is true or false. If it is, then we're just going to keep looping this block of code again and again and again until it's false. But if it's false, then we will spit out the block of code, or at least run the block of code one time, and then it's going to stop. So that's the main difference here. Now, this next example where we talk about the for loop is going to be a little bit different than the while loop, because as you may notice inside the parentheses, we have 3 pieces of data or 3 statements that we need to check for in this loop here. So the basic idea is that if you already know how many times you want to loop this specific loop, then we can do that inside a predefined parameters inside this loop here. So as you can see, to start with here, I go ahead and define a variable, which in this case is variable I. I stands for iteration because we have certain iterations of loops. Iteration is a way to define numbers. So, for each time we loop through it, that is a word I will be using in the future. That's why I'm saying it. So we have this variable I that right now is equal to 0. Now, that's also a thing I want to mention here, because when we talk about programming, a lot of times we start with the number 0, not 1. So in this example here, I will also be starting with the number 0. So we defined the variable and what it's equal to. Then afterwards, we need to define when do we need the loop to stop. In this case here, I want to stop the loop once I is equal to or greater than 10. And then the last parameter is going to be how much do we want to increase I with each time we go through a loop. So in this case here, by saying I++, we're going to increase it by 1. And then again, it's just going to loop through this for loop until the conditions has been met inside the parentheses. So it's pretty simple, but a lot of times I notice that people don't really know when should they use a loop like this, to spit out data. But there is actually plenty of examples of when we would actually use a loop like this, and we will probably use one in the future at some point when we do get to a project. So just go ahead and wait for that. And the last one I want to talk about is the one called for each. Now the for each loop is something we use together with arrays. So an array, basically, in order to just shorten it down, because I will have a future episode on it, is basically a variable that contains many pieces of data instead of just one piece of data. Because usually now when we use variables, we set a equal to 1 or a equal to 2 or something, or a equal to Daniel. Whereas when we talk about arrays, we have a equal to a list of data. So when we want to use a for each loop, we can create one like this. And the basic idea behind it is once we have an array, we can simply go inside and say, well, I have this array, and I'm just going to put in the name inside the condition. And when I reference to this other variable inside the loop, I'm going to reference to the data inside the array. And then the for each loop is just going to keep looping until there's no more data left inside the array. So it's going to loop as many times as there is data inside the array. So in this example here, I echo out value, which is the one that I reference to when I reference to a piece of data inside the array. So it's just going to spit out the data from inside the array. So it's going to spit out Daniel, Timmy, Jane, John, and then it's going to stop. And in some cases, we also have something called an associative array. And this is something we also will talk about. The basic idea here is that the array has names for the different indexes inside the array instead of just numbers. And what we can do inside the for each loop is we can also reference to the key, it's called, when we reference to the name, which means that inside the loop, we can spit out not only the data, but also the name for that pieces of data. So if you have an array called person that has the first index as name is equal to Daniel, and then the next one is eye color equal to blue, and then the next one is age equal to 28, then I can reference to both the names and the data that they're associated with. Oh, it's called an associative array. Hey! So again, this is the basics when it comes to loops, and we will use loops in the future when it comes to projects. For now, just go ahead and try to remember what I talked about in this episode, and then we will use it in a future episode when we talk about creating some kind of project. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.